Hi, it's Stuart Sutton. Hope you're having a great day so far. This week's Tuesday morning tip is something that you've probably experienced, maybe even this week. The rule of commitment. When a consumer commits to something, they're far more likely to do it than if they're not asked to commit to it. It's happened to most of us. When you're asked for help, you're far more likely to help than if someone needs help and you're not asked. It's just as simple as that. It's kind of a social rule. It's in place. You can ignore it or not. Now, nowadays it might be easier not to help than it's ever been before because we're so used to all the different little tricks and things that people use to try to sell us magazines and things like that. But in a sincere situation, when someone asks for a commitment from you or your help or you to do something that would be helpful, you're very hard-pressed to say no. Use this rule. When asked for help, someone's far more likely to help than if they're not asked. Let's talk about a situation real quick. Experiment was done. The subject of the experiment went to the beach, put his blanket down near some other people, put his belongings on it, different things that you would normally take to the beach, and then he took off and went for a walk. Now the second subject of the experiment walked by, kind of eyeballed the things on the blanket, looked around, and then picked up a few of them, basically stole them, and walked off. Now, how many people that were not asked for help, how many people that were not asked to watch that blanket actually did something about it? Well, it's less than 20%. So let's go the next step. Same subject, puts his blanket down, puts his stuff down, walks over to the people nearby and says, "I'm going for a walk. Would you watch my stuff?" They said, "Sure, of course we will." So the second subject of the experiment comes by, eyeballs the stuff, picks up some of it, and starts to take off. How many of those people who were asked to watch the stuff did something about it? Over 70%. That's dramatic. So use this. If you do not ask, you're much less likely to get a commitment. I hope that makes sense. As a matter of fact, the people who were asked to watch the stuff, even to the point of chasing the guy down, that's how much people want to help, honor their commitment, things like that. So let's talk about how you can, and here are those stats, by the way. How can you use that in your real estate business? Well, there are different ways. It might not be an absolute situation of, can you help me? But it could be a commitment of some kind. Here's what I'm talking about. Don't just assume, for example, that you're the only agent ever interviewed. This has happened to me. Maybe it's happened to you. A seller is going to interview me to list their home, and I get a call and say, they've already listed it. Well, I never got the chance to visit with them. Why not? Well, we know that some good salesman, some smooth-talking real estate agent closed them to list with that person before I ever got there. What could I have done differently? I could have asked for a commitment. I could have asked for help. You know, a lot of times an agent will make a very strong presentation, but unless you see mine, you're not aware of the extremely aggressive and unique strategies that we use. Could I ask you to make sure that you visit with me even if other agents are impressive? That will increase my chances dramatically of having another agent close them to sign their listing. I hope that makes sense. You can use this in marketing, you use it in conversation. Don't ask for unrealistic commitments. Give an example. Hey, I'm going to be out of town 2 weeks. Could you wait for me to come back to interview me? Of course, that's not something you want to rely on. But use this. It's a social rule. Use it and there's many, many situations where you can ask them to make a small commitment to you. And once they do make that commitment, once they do agree to it, they will far more likely to keep it. That doesn't mean they'll do it every time, but they're far more likely than if you don't ask at all. Hope that makes sense. Again, I tell this to people all the time. I make more for doing nothing more. I do the same thing that I did at previous brokers, and I make more money here at EXP because of the incredible compensation package. I'm honored to be associated with Knolly Williams and Rand Smith, two of the finest trainers and coaches in America today. If I can help, of course, let me know. And remember, it's your choice, so make it a powerful day. Bye-bye.